Shakespeare wrote Hamlet, one of his most famous plays, in or around the year 1600. One of the most interesting scenes in this play occurs in the middle of the first act, when Polonius, who's a courtier to the King of Denmark, is saying goodbye to his son, Laertes, as he goes to college in Paris. It's a scene full of advice and full of lessons that are larger than just that moment. Let's take a look at Shakespeare's language and the rich lessons contained within it, lessons for our time as well as for the 17th century. At the very beginning of the speech, Polonius says to his son, "Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame! The wind sits in your shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for." So what's the father doing there as he chides his son? Well, he's calling Laertes to action. He's saying, don't wait, don't tarry. The clock is ticking, the winds are ready to take you to France. Go and start your mission. Start this chapter. That's important because in our age where there are so many challenges and so many opportunities, it's very easy to spend a lot of time talking about those challenges and opportunities. Here's Shakespeare saying, stop talking, stop dallying, start doing. The second interesting lesson in the speech comes just a few sentences later. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel. What's Shakespeare telling us there? He's telling us, choose your friends carefully. Don't invest in people you haven't tried, you don't know well, you're not sure of the fit with. But once tried, once known, keep them close as steel can bind them to you. The third lesson is an extension of the second, and it's directed to Laertes' time outside the classroom and the people he spends that time with. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched, unfledged comrade. So what does that mean? It means, regardless of what you're doing, spend your time with people that you know and trust, people whose values and sense of their own journeys are in sync with your own. Invest your time, whether you're working or being entertained or just sitting, very wisely. Use your energy carefully. Above all, practice great discernment. In the fourth lesson, the fourth piece of advice, Polonius takes a different tact with his son. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but, being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. So what's going on in those few short words? Well, Polonius is saying, don't seek out trouble. Don't pick fights. Don't court discord for its own sake. But if you find yourself in an argument, if you find yourself with an opponent, if you find yourself in a place where there's confrontation, stay true to your convictions, anchor down deep in what you believe, and stand firm in confidence on those. Do not bravely flee, do not retreat. Be formidable in the confidence of your own position. The fifth lesson is a single sentence, powerful in its meaning. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Here Shakespeare is speaking to the grave importance of listening, and listening well, and listening actively. He's also saying, don't be in a hurry to hear yourself speak, that you cut off a person or people that you need to hear. Be respectful of others. Be a good student of yourself and of your journey. Keep listening. The sixth lesson is about how we think about the people around us. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. He's telling us to look and observe and consider the people that we encounter, the people that we know, the people that we do business with, the people that look up to us. At the same time, he's saying, don't be quick to judge them. The seventh lesson is about how we show up and appear in the world around us. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France of the best rank and station are of a most select and generous clef in that. Here Shakespeare is talking about the importance of how we show up in the world and what kind of signals it sends to others. He's saying, dress well, dress elegantly, but don't be ostentatious or too showy. Think about the effect and the importance of the way you look and carry yourself and what signals it sends to others, because the clothes and the bearing often proclaim the man. And then finally, as an important reference point, he's saying, and if you need an example, if you need to take a page out of someone else's book in terms of how you should look at the French, who are very good at this. Many things don't change, including the fashion centers of the world. The eighth lesson is about credit and money. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulleth the edge of husbandry. What's Shakespeare saying here? He's saying, and these are powerful words in our time, in the aftermath of the financial crisis of 2008, keep your balance sheet clean. Don't borrow much. Don't lend much, because debt in all forms can be dangerous if it becomes too great. It can hurt you and your prospects. It can damage your relationships with others. It complicates things in an unproductive way. Keep it clean. Keep it simple. The ninth and last lesson is about Laertes' relationship with himself. And here, Shakespeare has really saved the best for last. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this to thee. Here Shakespeare is telling Laertes and each of us to know thyself. Know your own strengths. Know your core values. Know the overwhelming mission in your life, and work and act and move from that knowledge. Honor it. Don't deviate from it. For if you honor it, and if you hew to it, your journey forward as a leader, as a citizen, as a parent, as a pilgrim, with others and in the work you undertake will be effective and powerful. So what are we to make of this poetic and powerful speech of advice? A speech that's really all about character building. Well, it really comes in three parts. The first part is about Laertes' relationship with the outside world. The second part is about how Laertes, or any of us, present ourselves to that world and what we give and what we take from the people and activity around us. The third and most significant part of the advice is about our own relationship with ourself and whether we can be true to our very best and strongest self and act consistently from that place. If you sum it up It's really a speech about anchors, anchors of behavior and anchors of understanding. Those anchors are very valuable to a young man going off to college, as Laertes was. They're even more valuable in our time in a moment of astounding turbulence. We are so busy. We are so overwhelmed with information and choices and technology and just a host of challenges and possibilities that understanding the importance of core roots and core actions and core ways of relating to ourselves and others is absolutely critical. Here, Shakespeare is advising us to take a deep yoga breath, to step back and consider a core group of actions and understandings that we can rely on day in and day out, not only to navigate the turbulence all around us, but also to walk paths of great dignity and impact and worth.